If you like this video, make sure to visit our Vimeo page and follow us to get the latest update.
So first of all, I just want to know like any questions you are getting from the supplier side or the way you have logged in into your RFPs and all. So any questions, any issues you have from your side? Any doubts, any queries?
Jay, I tried creating RFP, but I think the vendor was not able to approve the questionnaire. I mean, several times I tried. Maybe we can check.
So like on the supplier side you are saying, or from the system side you are saying?
Supplier.
Can you share your screen? Can you please log in and share your screen?
No. Sorry, system side.
Okay, system side. Okay, so system, I think like system is currently down. So anything we have it from the supplier side, we can try that one if you have anything on that part.
I did not create RFI, but directly RFP.
That is fine. That is not a problem. See, either you create an RFI, RFP, that doesn't matter. So all these are work as a simple event in the case. Okay. So if I just I'll just give you a brief overview on this one. So if I say here, right, if I just introduce a new sliding here. So whenever you what happens is whenever you are creating this one, right? So RFI or RFP, that as we discussed, right? So RFI just for the information perspective and all. And whenever you are submitting RFP, you are sending it to the supplier, right? The supplier is basically what it is having is the options you have seen it, right? Download content. You also seen that there's a download content, right? So what he can download that data. He can keep it the data, review that data, and later on he can submit that one. So those all options are there with it. Then you can also see decline. The one I think decline respond. So decline respond means the supplier is not interested or not anymore wants to perform this dealing into these activities, or you can say this material in itself. Okay, so these are some of the things that you will be seeing from a perspective from supplier side. So if you are sending it, the very first thing you will be checking it whether the invitation has been sent to the supplier or not. So in your case, what was the error exactly? You have created the RFP, you published the RFP, and supplier not able to submit the response?
No, supplier submitted the response, but here that approval after several approvals also didn't get approved. Was showing in approval only.
Okay,
I can show on screen, yeah.
Okay.
And also, this declined response that you mentioned. What if the supplier doesn't respond at all? I mean, it doesn't bother to respond. Will that
is also
a decline?
Yes, that is also fine. So here, basically, what happens is, So basically, what happens is there are multiple ways of it. If you are inviting the supplier, right? So the invitation being received by the supplier, and supplier first of all not even replying to your email itself. He's not even bothered about it, and he's not worried about it, right? So simply what will happen is the status that you've seen right in the supplier side, it will never change. Generally what happens is the yesterday that we have seen, right? So first it is invited and all those things are there, and then we have intent to participate, right?
Yes.
So that thing doesn't intend to participate. Then you have what you can say then you have participated. So in this section, there will be no answer will be there from the supplier side. There will be no status updated on this one. So suppliers are not bound to answer. So first of all, as per the process in any RFI, RFP or any event, they are not bound that they need to answer on that one. Okay. Yes, they can they can skip this one. There's no penalty for it, something like that. You just simply do it this way, that you do not want to invite them in anything. So they do not want to participate in that. Or what you can do is, some of the time people also do that. What they do is, you must have heard of it, this one, earnest money, right? EMD, earnest money deposit.
Earnest money deposit, EMD, yes.
Right. Okay. So basically what happens is, for some of the auctions or big tenders, you need to deposit some security money in there, right? In the government. So similar way, like you can also like get this money offline somewhere, and based on that you can set up some parameter like these suppliers have submitted the EMD, you will invite those suppliers only into the system for any auction and all. So those kind of scenarios you can also involve. You can like you can ask the supplier, the you can what you can do is the way I have showed you, right? Like setting up a entry gate question. Set up an entry gate question like, do you provided the EMD? So if the supplier says yes, then only he will be able to participate in that one. And you need to approve it. So like we have already done that part, right? That question to setting up a starting gate. So you can create this question as your starting gate question also. So whoever the supplier who has provided the EMD money, you will be inviting those only for any RFP or maybe for auction. You can decide that thing. So these are the some of examples that you can use, like EMD and all. These are something government which are using it. But if you want to, like for example, you are doing some big RFP. So for example, you are doing some construction tender of your new office building, like it's a 20-floor building, or like it's all owned by your organization and all. You want to construct that one. So like it will be a big cost, right? Maybe 200, 300 or 500 crores of a project, right? So in those scenarios, you do not want any player who will be like not good enough or who's not serious enough. So in those scenarios, you can take the EMD first. So you can publish your RFI, and in that one, you can answer that you need to submit your EMD by this date. Only then we will be allowing you to for further, you can say like further RFP or in the auction. So once you are conducting that one, RFP and auction, you can keep this as a standard starting gate question. And you can check by that date if the supplier has submitted the EMD or not by from the bank and all. And if he submitted, then only you allow it. So these are all options are there. So as I said, see, these things are from a supply, like from a business perspective. Options are provided in Ariba. You need to take care of this one, like how you want to design these things based on the customer. So what happens is why we say, right? So when we discuss the template, I'll show you that. So in the company, in the real world, template, when we discuss the templates, right? So generally people differentiate the template on some of these major things. The very major thing is you will see like the procurement type. Either you are buying some indirect material, so there will be a template for indirect material, separate template for indirect material for sourcing. Then you can have a template for direct material this way. So this is a like a broader level segregation of template. For indirect material, you will be always using this template, and for direct material, you will be using this template. Similar way, you can create the template also based on like the total cost RFP template, like that way you can mention in here, or you can mention like template in the case template for EMD money, EMD related projects, related procurement.
But how will system identify whether it is direct or indirect or EMD, or you have to give the description in such a way that?
Yes. First of all, you need to give the description. You will be keeping the template name like this, and you will be getting the option to choose. Like, so there is a little guidance is required. Like you need to train, you need to provide a small training to the users also, like how they will be using. Otherwise, every user will not be aware of it, right? You need to tell them, like when you are buying indirect material, you need to use this template. Direct material, you need to like at least they need to know what is an indirect or direct material. At least that much users should aware of it. So generally what happens is like in the company, there are multiple teams are there, like category managers are there, right? So category managers tell like this category is from the indirect side. This will be bought as a indirect procurement. So they guide us. So like they generally guide the end user, because end users are not that, you can say like a very experienced or technical. So category manager or any team which is from supply chain, core supply chain or procurement team, they guide in these matters. That's why I initially mentioned, if you remember, right? So sometimes you can have a core procurement team, right? These things, that creation of this projects from these templates is not sometimes given to the end user. What they do is company, like it's all dependent to company or customer to customer. What they do is they set up a separate team for a procurement. They set up a separate team of procurement, and those people are from the supply chain. Okay, and on behalf of the customers user, on behalf of the user, so user will be requesting them, please create a sourcing project for me, please create a RFP for me, please create an auction for me, this is the item, these are the basic information that you need to always have it, you provide them and they create these things. So you can also have a different manner in which what you can do is you can align this process in a manner like a core procurement team will be doing all the Ariba related sourcing, contracting, SLP, everything via that core team. Rather than you are assigning all the end users the access of Ariba. So this helps you in a two manner. One is your centralized procurement is there. Only the core team is doing the centralized procurement. You have like offices in different regions, north, south, east, west. Everyone is sending requirement to the core team. So now you are having a centralized procurement. Apart from this one also, you can say like you are saving the license cost also. In Ariba, when you buy Ariba, so like when you discuss with the SAP, right? So there is a license cost. There are particular users. Based on that, the licenses will be issued, and the license cost will be on the basis user basis, and particular groups has been assigned. So, for example, if you are assigning some person as a sourcing agent, okay, so that will not be considered as an a license user. There are particular groups that there's list they provide, like these are the license user. If you are going to take this many users, that will be considered as a license user. Not everything, like a normal procurement guys and all those does not consider as a license user. Okay, those are roles you can assign it. So that thing they provide, and based on the license, the cost of SAP application goes increasing. So if you take license for 100 or 200 people, then it will be costlier for you. Like it's a very costly for you. Rather than you can have it like a 50 licenses and your core team of 50 people, they will be doing the job for all your end users. So it's all depends. So this is just, I'm giving you an example. It's dependent on customer to customer. If they want to have it separately, their call, or if they want to have like this way, centralized procurement this way, they can do that also. And this is how you will be selecting the templates. You need to guide the people in this case and in which case you need to use these templates in here. Or you can also set up some of the conditions and these ones, like when you are selecting this one and all categories and all, then it will be coming in there. So all these perspectives are from the perspective that you will be providing the template. So you will try, always the objective is to try to keep the minimum templates. Should not be ever like 50 or 60 templates. Generally, people try to have it hardly like 4 or 5 templates. They try to segregate generally based on like categories, or like simply like they can say on the department wise. 4 or 5 departments, like for manufacturing this template, non-manufacturing this template, admin related this template, or admin and HR related one template, like that way. So they put that name like in front of, like for example, this template is for admin and HR. For anything which you are buying from admin and HR perspective, you will be using this one. Anything that you are using from the manufacturing side, you will be using this template, something like that. Then you can use this template for anything related to the, you can say like customer related, something customer related you need to buy. Anything, like you can keep it anything in here. Or people keep the template based on the value. If you are buying something, so simply they say like, if I remove this one, if I say here, so template, if project value is less than you can say like 50 lakhs. I'm talking about INR perspective. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 lakhs. Okay. So I'm just writing here INR. If the value of your project, the baseline is spent, remember the baseline is spent. If you are having a baseline spend of less than 50K, like this, 50 lakhs, you will be using this template. Template 1, like I said, template 1. Like these are options. These are options. So these things you can use it based on, like you can propose. So this is what a consultant's job, right? If you are going as an implementation partner, Ariba, the company to whom you are selling it, right? They are completely new. They do not know what is Ariba, right? They just know that this is some tool which helps them in our sourcing and the procurement process. As a you are the expert there. You are the subject matter expert, you are the consultant, and you are going to implement it here. So as a good will, or you can say like in a good manner, you need to suggest what is the best, or what is the best practices going in the market. So you need to provide multiple solutions to them, or you need to suggest them. Obviously, the last call will be of your customer only, but you can suggest like this way, that these are the ways you can set up your templates. Rest is how they want to their structure or their company that they can use it. But like this one, if the template, if the project value is less than 50K, you'll use this template one. If the value is like you can say template two, if value is sorry, value is somewhere around, like you can say 50 lakhs to 1 crore, like that way. Okay. So accordingly, you can set up the approval flow also. So I think you guys must be seen, right? In like generally it happens in every company that people with the based on the what you can say the approval limit. Like for example, you are a manager, you are given access to approve anything which is 10 lakh rupees. Then if you are on a like a senior manager or VP level, you will be given access to approve something like 50 lakh. If you are a director and all those things, you might be given access to approve something which is more than 1 crore, or something more on like company directors, CEOs, they can go up to like 50 crore, 100 crore, like that way, right? So this is the generally the segregations based on the value only, right? The people come into the approve and they approve. Like if you say like the value is going more, you need to take approval of director also or CEO also, like that, right? So same thing you can also have it in here. So based on this one, the people will also, you will be setting up the approval flow and the template label will be coming in that scenario only. Right. So you have aware of this one, like it's going maximum to the 50 lakh. So you can design the approval flow in this manner, like who is the person who will be coming to the 50 lakhs.
What if the buyer or the core team member selects the wrong template by mistake? Can he go back, I mean, and select the right? Maybe you can no. Maybe you can show this better in system. But out of curiosity, I'm just asking, what if the buyer or the core team member selects the wrong template?
They need to cancel the project. There's no other way of that. If they have selected something wrong in there, they need to cancel that project, close that project, and create a new project. The way we created, right, sourcing projects in there. So they, because what will happen is if you are selecting a wrong template, your approval flow will be wrong, your task in there, that will be wrong, all those things will be like will be wrong in there, right? So rather than having that way, so it's better to just cancel that one, like close that project, cancel that project. In the comment you can mention in there and just close it and create a new one.
Okay. Yeah, Jay, who creates these projects on sourcing project? This admin will create or the core team?
Which, sorry, didn't get your question. Sourcing project.
Who creates?
Sourcing projects, right?
Hmm?
So
Yes.
core team, like you can see, like end users also can create. It's up to you, like to whom you are giving the access. Generally, like you will be in like the way I have seen it, like generally the people who have the like depending, I can say like those are related to the particular procurement side, the supply chain or procurement guys, they will be given the access and they do the this procurement process of sourcing project.
Okay.
Because like in that one you need to aware, because these are all supply chain, you know, right? This is all supply chain too. So you need to know all those things from the procurement perspective. You should have a good knowledge on the procurement side, and once you are dealing with the supplier and all, so you need to know how to negotiate with the supplier. Even though if you are setting up your this RFPs and all, you should be aware of what kind of questions we should ask so that I can get a better response from the supplier. So if you are a procurement guys, it will be very easy for you, because that's your core expertise, right? If you are not from a core supply chain side, it will like you need to take some time, you will take some time to learn all those things. You can later on copy and all those things, you can use it. But yes, it is always better if you have a knowledge on that perspective from a procurement side, that what should be the questions we should ask in the RFPs and all. It is always helpful. There's no standard thing in there, but yes, definitely what happens is you can have some old templates which someone has already created into this one, questionnaires from the older projects, the copy project that we have seen, right? So you can copy someone else project also. You can take help of that project and copy those questionnaires here in your project and you can publish it. But yes, it is always good to have the knowledge of the procurement side, because this is you will be negotiating and you will be keeping it all those scenarios also little dependent on product to product, right? It is also dependent on the product to product. If you are buying something like admin related things, chair, table and all, will be having little different kind of questionnaires in there. But if you are buying something like a machinery, right, you need to buy a CNC machine, or you want to buy a lathe machine or production related foundry machines and all, in those scenarios, if you are buying something that, so you need to have it, the questions will be different, right? So knowledge from a procurement side is always good on this side. If you have it, it will definitely help you. Okay. So from an implementation perspective, if you are supporting the implement project, so definitely like these things are not much required, if I say. But yes, if you are working on a core platform, like you need to create a sourcing projects and all, if you just need to show something in here, definitely you can create a test examples, test questions in there. But if you are working in the system, like the way I'm explaining here, like the project values and all, so these things only, like generally when you are working core into the system, then only it will come into the picture. Okay, so there are two different aspects. You are working on the project where you need to work on it exactly. That is one. And if you are just implementing, that is different. Because in implementation, you will be setting up the things in there and then you will be moving out. You will not be like, so after the go live, generally the support is like for, I think, 1 month, 2 months. So after that, you just hand over this system to the client. You give the training to the client and all, and the client will be taking care of that one. So in future, they need to change anything, they need to update anything in their templates, approval flows, data and all. So they will handle that on their own. Right. So these are the things generally, that's the way. So I hope like your objective is more from an implementation side, or it will be more on a end user perspective. For all, like I'm generally in a general manner I'm asking, not any specific thing, just in a general manner. It will be like implementation perspective more on an implementation side or more on an end user side.
It is on both, Jay.
Okay, it is on both. Okay, okay. So yes, so if I say like as mentioned, right, if you are going more on a end user perspective, then having a good knowledge on the procurement side, if you can get it a little bit on exposure on that one, it will help you. Definitely, it will help you. Okay, on an implementation side, so I'll say like these process perspective, if you know, that will help you on that part. No need for like core knowledge of this one. You can just ask the client and you can suggest some of the things on this one, and that way you can work it out. Okay. Any doubts, any questions on this one? I think from a process perspective, I'm not asking for now from the system, I'm just asking from the process perspective. Because these things, what happens is when you're going for workshops and all, right, prepare, explore, those phases are there, right? So initially you need to have the requirement gatherings and all, you need to present the system, conduct the workshops, the client will be asking you some, so you need to do the fit gap analysis and all. So in that scenarios, you can suggest these things in there. So that help you out to perform all those things in this one. You can suggest upfront there, these are the ways and these are the things that you can, that can help you out when you are working on the implementing the Ariba modules. Okay. Okay, let me check one more time if the system is working. Okay, I need to put the credentials here. Just hold on a second, guys. Let me check.
Jay, are you also covering this licensing part?
So licensing part is generally like it's nothing to cover. Like they provide that information to you. Like SAP
So,
generally provide.
see, if we are going to the client as a consultant, we should have some licensing knowledge, which licensing is better for them, because license have a cost.
No,
Or can you
licensing.
just give us some little brief?
Yeah. So basically, see, licensing is nothing but see, it's a role. The roles I showed you, right? Like the procurement owner, purchasing manager, group, and the roles that you are seeing in here, right? Receiving manager and all, like
Okay.
the users. So these are nothing but these are the licenses, kind of. So basically, what happens is, for example, okay, I think this is, wait, let me show this one. Anyone can check, is it working? I think I'm using the same ID, right? Everyone is using, or is it something different? I think we all are using the same IDs, right?
Yeah, it is still not working, Jay. I checked that.
Okay, okay. Okay. So for example, you can see this like sourcing agent. These are the group names. Okay. These are the group names. Sourcing agent is there one group name. Then you have, you can say template creator. Template creator. This is one group. Then you have template user. Okay, like this. Then you have the most important and the you can say the most powerful group in Ariba is customer admin, customer administrator. Sorry. Okay, so like these are the groups. So these are groups are nothing but you can say like the kind of licenses. So for example, if I say this, I'm assigning. So for example, here if I say like Akshay and Vinayak, if I'm going to give both of you this customer admin role, it will consider as 2 licenses. The cost will be considered as for 2 licenses. If I'm giving you this role only to Akshay, it will be considered 1 licenses. So generally, when you are buying this one, Ariba provide you the list of these roles and which are like the going to be a license user. So you need to choose how many people you want to give this role. This is your call as a customer call. Basically, customer needs to like provide this information. Okay, we will be assigning this role only to 1 person or 2 person or 3 person or 4 person. Based on that, the charges will be applicable. And this licenses cost is generally for 1 year. Every year you need to renew the licenses of Ariba, and that's how it works. So these are the roles that you need to provide. So here you can see like sourcing agent is not, I think it's not a licensing licensed version basically. So right, if you assign the sourcing agent to Akshay, it will not count you as a license. Okay, so that's how it works in this one. So these roles are nothing but these are groups. You can see that I'll show you like system is not working, but I can show you. I hope some of you have seen something in later, right? So these are groups. Yeah, these are the groups. So these groups are nothing but you can see in the system are there, and based on what groups you are assigning to a particular user, they will charge for it. That is known as licensing cost. So some groups are considered as a license. So then you need to, so this Ariba you providing you can negotiate with Ariba also. They generally charge for this, and if you are buying more, then they may be giving you a discount and all those things. So all those things happens directly like the client. Before you going for an implementation, client would have been bought all these things, right? Only then he will invite you for implementation. What how many users they, so how many users he wants to give access, obviously their call. You cannot do anything in that one, because to whom they want to give access or to whom they do not want to give access, that's completely their call, right? So based on that, they will buy this license cost and all. So if I remember, like last time the cost was somewhere around it's a little old data, it was like 1 year cost for upstream module sourcing, it was cost was like 30 lakhs for 5 license user. Okay, so it's a quite costly tool, if I say, from a system. But yes, as you can see, like this is something SAP is selling out in the market. So from a SAP perspective, customers are buying it, having the confidence. Like SAP is an old market, old company in the market. So that's the like you can say like that is why it is coming up. And mostly like the user interface is quite easy if you work on like couple of months, and also you will get easily understand this process and all those things, because it's quite user friendly, all the things on the UI, and you can easily manage and map all those things. So from that perspective, it's quite good, and the trust comes from that SAP. That is the main reason, like people is going for in market to buy SAP Ariba more rather than any other tools.
But we have no control over Ariba, so that is a very big drawback. Every time you have to take their help and be
Yes,
dependent on them and keep on paying.
yes. So like, see, this is something cloud application is having this one. So that is the issue, is you can understand like this is the cloud application issue. That's why any cloud application, you can use it, right? Any cloud application, if you want to use it, right, you need to have this kind of like restriction, little bit restriction. Okay. So this is, yes, this is a little drawback also. But also the other thing is like, see, if you see the from the cost perspective, if any customer, for example, how we are doing like earlier, for this thing we are using SRM. SAP ERP systems, PP and all, right? In that scenario, what we need to do is we need to first of all have a server room. Every company needs to maintain that, right? They need to buy the servers, keep the hardware in their premises, configure those things. Someone needs to one team is required to data maintenance and all, right? All those things you need. If the load is increasing, you need to increase the server, right? More system, hardware system you need to introduce in there, right? All those things keep on happening and you need to maintain that. Company is maintaining, right? Company paying for that, right? Now the same thing in the case of Ariba is not your headache now. All the data which you are sharing on this one, all the latency. For example, if you are using today this, okay, you are using this one for India country. For example, there is a customer who bought Ariba only for India. Now, maybe after 1 year or 2 year, he expand his business in multiple countries. For example, nearby countries of our country is like Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, like that way, right? So if he's increasing his business in these areas and he need to use Ariba there also, you can extend that within a week or within a month. You do not need to worry about setting up your hardware, data latency, and all those things, because that is a part of Ariba. They are managing it on their own in their own data centers. You will be able to access the same data anywhere in the world with the same speed. There's no latency delay and all, and especially there's no need of any Citrix or like some middleware connection or something via which you will be able to access that data. Like in, I think earlier when we use this SRM and all the, if we need to access some SAP systems, we need to use Citrix and all, right? So those things we do not need in this case of Ariba. Today you are working here in India, you can use it. Tomorrow you have extended your business in US, you can go there and you can also open your Ariba there and you can extend, start working there. Same data will be fetched there also. So as I said, right, see, everything have some like some pros and some cons also. So from a if you see from a business perspective, business perspective, so I can say there are companies who are working in 120 locations. They are using Ariba. The same data is being accessed everywhere. Okay, so you can understand how big is the setup. And all this data, you cannot handle it on your own. You need some data center across on a global level so that the data will flow simultaneously and without any latency issues in all the location in the world. So for that kind of setup, if you try to make that your own some data center, it will be very costly, right? And maintaining that and all those things, it will cost you a lot. The same thing you can use the cloud services like this way. In this one, you no need to worry about Ariba, like this data and all. The downtime, the server increasing. So today you are using 5 transactions. Tomorrow, if you use 50 transactions, you can do it in a click. Because that is the Ariba will take care. Ariba data center will take care of if you increase the load simultaneously or immediately. You do not need to worry about that part. Okay, so yes, these are some benefit. If you want to scale on an immediate basis, you can use the cloud applications. But if yes, there are issues like if you want to have it, anything is down, it will be on a global level sometimes. Or if you are facing some issues with this one, so you have the restriction to customization of it. So yes, there are some limitations on this. So as I mentioned, right, I think yesterday also I mentioned, right, no system in the world is there that who can provide you all the solution for your problem. You need to have multiple systems. One system cannot help you out, right? So that's the case. So we need to have dependency sometimes with the ERP, sometimes with the cloud applications. Sometimes you need to have some in-house products, in-house things are there. So for example, like for Ariba, we also have this OCR, right? Optical character recognition. So if you are in cases like your suppliers are sending invoices manually, you need to have this OCR. That is application like already been there with the SAP. So like that reads your invoices rather than you are checking all the invoices manually. The hard copy coming from the supplier, the OCR reads the invoice information details and put it up into the Ariba system in the invoicing module. So different you can say applications and other informations are there. You need to rely on those things to get your system moving smooth, I can say. Okay. I hope this will be little bit helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay. Okay. So let me see this.
Yesterday, have you done the quick project or
We have okay. So let's test this this way. How many events I have created in that one? Any rough idea?
2 events?
Right. So what is the condition? Like if you are creating a full project and the test project. So sorry, full project and a quick project. What I mentioned there.
See, for a quick project, you can do only one event. For a the another one, you can have multiple events.
Right. Uh, so here we have done tomorrow the multiple events, right? So that's a by default you can understand like this is how we can use the full project. Like we have used the full project.
So in case of quick, can we not do the multiple events?
Sorry, in the quick project, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we cannot do that. So in the quick, if you are selecting the quick project, right? So we cannot do the what you can say multiple event. We can only select one, either any RFI or RFP or auction. We cannot do multiple events. That is the limitation of quick projects. Also, if you remember, right, the task part, the task and all those things cannot be done. Okay. So like that way you can do that.
But for that, first we have created RFI, we have run the RFP event. Then yesterday we have done the RFP event.
Yeah, yesterday what we have done, we first created the sourcing project, right? After creating the sourcing project under the document section, I created events, right? Manually you see, right? That way. So first I have created an RFP, then I have created again an RFP, and I showed you right from there I can create multiple events. So I have created multiple events in a sourcing project.
But did we create multiple events yesterday?
Yes, we created multiple events.
So it was just one event for that chair and table.
So already RFPs was there, right? I tried to show you two, right? If you remember, right? First one got stuck because of the approval. Remember? So I created a new one.
Yes, but that is also a single event.
No. See, event was single, but the document. Okay, if you remember, right? Yes. Just a second. Is it echoing from my side? Okay. So what was there is like you have the overview, then you have the document tab, then you have here task, then you have team, right? So under the document here, if you see the under the document, you see, right, I have created RFP, right? I have created RFP for office chairs, and it got stuck into the approval flow, right? It got stuck. I need to left it in between because it was related to the different approval flow. Then I have again created RFP, another RFP, right? RFP for office chairs and tables. Remember this?
This is a different project you created, sourcing project.
Yes. So see, you create any different project or not, but like if you are creating multiple, this is the event, right? This is also one event, right? This is one event, and which I left in between. Okay, I haven't published it, and this is also I created again because of the after the change. So this is also an event.
Yes, this is one of the event in different project.
Right. No. These two are in the same, right? I think.
No. It is not same.
Okay, no problem. So I'll show you that one. So basically what happens is majorly when you are creating a full project, you can create multiple RFP, multiple events under the document tab. That is the logic. Or maybe yesterday I would not create it that way, But as far as remember, there were already some RFPs was there, and still you can create more events in there under the document. But if I'll show you that one. But this is how it works. When you have a full project under the document, you can create multiple RFP, like office share. Again, you can create an office share. You can again create here one more RFP follow. You can say follow on RFP. Follow on RFP. So this is also another event, right? Then in this only, within this one only, you can also create an auction. This is also an event. You can also create a forward auction. Within this one, within one project only under the document. This is also an event.
So,
Right.
So let's do one this RFP complete project today.
So I'm just waiting for if there any system is up, I can show you now.
Hi,
So,
Jay.
Jay, I have one more query. If the RFP is going on, can we just go back to the RFI process?
Yes, because RFI is a separate event. We can go that.
So, see, if it is a full project, and we have done the we have kept initially the RFI, then RFP, then auction. Okay, reverse
Right.
auction.
Right.
Dutch auction is going there. So let's suppose if we have come to the auction, can we stop the auction and can we just go back to the RFI process, do some additions and float the RFI again?
Yeah, you can reopen it. So these are not interdependent kind of. So there's no dependency on if you are working on currently on the auction, right? Even though if you want to stop the auction, you want to go to the RFI again, you can reopen that RFI.
Let's
And
suppose if an auction is going on, can we just add one more vendor during the auction?
Yes, the same way that we have done it, right? In the event when I showed, right, changes. Same way you can do in auction also. Similar way. We can edit the current auction, live auction, and we'll edit the supplier in there.
But the auction, see, if we see for some items, for few items, like for suppose 5 or 10 items, the auction timing is not longer. It's just half an hour or 1 hour. Can we add a new vendor during that time?
Yes, you can. That's what I'm saying. You can do that. You can change the time also, na? Like if the time is, so for example, you started your auction at 9 a.m. Okay. Now after 9:20, you understand, okay, I missed one supplier. Okay, 20 minutes has been already passed. So now when you are adding that person at the 9:20 new supplier, then you also update the time there. Right? See, he should also get a fair chance, right? Obviously. So you can increase the time again, increase the time, change the time also, that the end of the time will be after 20 minutes from now.
Okay.
So you need to change simultaneously both the things. You need to add one more supplier there and increase the time of the event. Otherwise, for him, it will be a little less time, right? So you can change. So when I think yesterday we done, right, the changes. So we amend the live RFP. In that RFP, you see, like I have created the questions, answers got deleted and all those things, right? So that way you can do the same thing in the auction also. The responses will be deleted of all your suppliers. For example, by 9:20, 3-4 suppliers has already participated few values there, right? The auction is going on. Now, if you are adding a new supplier in there and then you make the changes, their response will be deleted. The way you seen yesterday, right? So the response will get deleted of those suppliers also, and then you can say like you need to resubmit. Like all the suppliers need to resubmit and restart the bidding again. They need to submit their prices. So that's a standard process, like that work in RFP and auction the similar way.
Okay.
I'll cover all these things in there. I will cover all these things in there when I will be covering upon. So I will be showing you this also. Even though in the same sourcing project, I will be creating all these events. After the award and all, I will be closing the event also. So I will be showing you how to complete the RFP after awarding, how you award that, how the supplier receives the notifications. And once it goes closed, the RFP, then you need to complete your task. And then you need to change the status of your project from active to completed. So I'll show you the complete cycle of that. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jay.
Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit our Vimeo page and follow for more upcoming videos.